Very often in our work with quadratic functions, we find it helpful, if not absolutely necessary, to sketch the related graph, which is called a parabola. The most important points, called critical points, of the parabola are the vertex and the two roots. There are simple formulas for both roots and vertex. But one, the simple formula for roots, is not found in any of the dozens of textbooks I have reviewed. Instead, we must always use the famous quadratic formula, or the process called completion of the square, which is even more difficult, unless the equation happens to factor easily. However, in a moment we shall see a simpler quadratic formula usable whenever we are doing work which involves the coordinates of the vertex. In the discussion which follows, we will refer to the following two forms of the quadratic equation. The general form is the form in which the quadratic is most often encountered. When the square is on the x, we say the equation is quadratic in x. The standard form is derived by the completion of the square process and is one way of getting h and k, the coordinates of the vertex. However, there is an easier way to find the vertex than by completing the square. We use the simple formula minus b over 2a, which is proven in calculus to give the x-coordinate of the vertex for a quadratic in x. To give a specific example, let us take the equation y equals 2x squared plus 3x minus 1, where a equals 2, b equals 3, and c equals minus 1. Then the formula minus b over 2a yields minus the b number 3 over 2 times the a number, which is 2, giving us the number minus 3/4. Now there is a complicated formula for the corresponding y value, but my purpose here is to avoid memorizing and computing with difficult formulas. Like one of my teachers used to say, a good mathematician is a lazy mathematician. Instead, we find the value of y by inserting minus 3/4 into the original equation in place of x. The steps look like this. So the coordinates of the vertex are minus 3/4 minus 17/8. If we call these coordinates hk, we can now use the following simple formula to find the roots of the parabola. This formula derives easily from the standard form of the quadratic. Letting y be 0, as is appropriate for finding roots, we solve for x to obtain the formula. So for the parabola with vertex at minus 3/4 minus 17/8, we calculate using the formula as follows. These are the roots of the parabola, exactly the same as the quadratic formula would provide, but using a simpler formula and one which is more handy anytime the coordinates of the vertex are readily available. The two times when I can see this formula being most convenient, more convenient than the quadratic formula, would be either when, as in the example above, you are already finding the vertex using minus b over 2a, or when you have used completion of the square to put the equation into the standard form. which yields h and k, the coordinates of the vertex. As with most mathematics, however, one can never anticipate fully the innumerable uses human inventiveness will find. I hope you will enjoy using the formula h plus or minus the square root of negative k over a.